My brother's ex-girlfriend, a pathological liar, has been stalking and harassing our entire family since their breakup. The tipping point was when she stole my dog, leading me to call the police on her. My brother dated Jess for 8 months before I noticed the bruise on his cheek, dark purple, the size of a fist. He said he got into a fight at her party, which made zero sense because my brother's never thrown a punch in his life. He's the guy who apologizes when someone bumps into him. I kept asking what happened. Finally, in the car the next morning, he told me. Jess had pulled him aside at the party and said some guy tried to assault her in the bathroom. My brother, being protective, immediately confronted the guy. The guy looked completely confused and said he'd never even talked to her. A fight broke out. My brother got hit hard. On the drive home from the party, Jess laughed it off, said my brother must have misunderstood her, that nothing happened, that she never said the word assault. My brother realized she'd lied to start drama and broke up with her the next day. That's when my phone started ringing. Every single night. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m. Jess sobbing, begging me to convince my brother to take her back. She'd cry for 20 minutes straight while I listened, half asleep, feeling sorry for her. This went on for 2 solid weeks. Then one night at 1:30 a.m. she called again, but she wasn't crying. Her voice was flat, emotionless. She said 6 words. Tell your brother I'm ending it tonight. Then she hung up. I freaked out. Texted her over and over, called back. No answer. I genuinely thought I'd wake up to news that she'd hurt herself. I barely slept. The next morning, she showed up at our house holding a tray of muffins, arm in arm with my brother, smiling like absolutely nothing had happened. They'd gotten back together. She never once mentioned the phone call or the texts I'd sent her. It was like it never existed. A week later, my parents sat me down in the living room. My mom looked concerned. My brother looked uncomfortable. They told me they wanted to talk about how I'd been feeling lately. I had no idea what they meant. Turns out, Jess told my brother that I was the one who'd been calling her every night, that I was going through something and reaching out to her for help, that she didn't know what to do about my problems. My own family believed her enough to stage an intervention for me. I was furious. I pulled out my phone right there and showed them everything. My call history with her number lighting up the screen at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., voice messages of her sobbing, text threads where she begged me to talk to my brother. My parents' faces went pale. My brother looked sick. He broke up with her that night. She called him 67 times in a row. I counted. She showed up at our house 3 times that week with cookies, flowers, and apology letters. We ignored all of it. Eventually, she stopped coming around. We didn't hear from her for almost 6 months. I thought it was finally over. Then one Tuesday afternoon, I came home from soccer practice early. Our front door was wide open. My dog Max wasn't running to greet me like he always did. I called his name. Nothing. I walked through every room. Empty. That's when I remembered we had a security camera by the front door. I pulled up the footage on my phone. There she was. 2:17 p.m. Jess walking up our driveway, looking around like she was checking if anyone was watching. She tried the door handle. It was unlocked because my dad had run to the store and would be back in 10 minutes. She walked right in. 30 seconds later, she walked out carrying Max in her arms. He wasn't struggling. He remembered her from when she used to come over. I called the cops immediately, gave them her name, description, everything, told them about the harassment, the lying, all of it. They said they'd send someone to her address. They found her 40 minutes later at a park 3 miles away. She was sitting on a bench with Max in her lap, telling people who walked by that he was her emotional support dog. When the officers approached and asked if she was Jess, she immediately started screaming that I'd stolen her dog months ago and she was just getting him back, that my family had been harassing her, that we were liars. The officers asked if the dog was microchipped. I told them yes, registered to my name and address. They checked it right there with a scanner. Confirmed. They arrested her on the spot for burglary and theft. As they walked her to the police car, she looked directly at the body camera one officer was wearing and said, word for word, he loved me more than you anyway. He was never really yours. My dog wouldn't leave my side for 2 weeks after that. He'd sleep pressed against my bedroom door. Jess was charged, got a restraining order, and we never heard from her again. But sometimes I still check the security camera footage before I go to bed just to make sure.